Rose and the Hack. We're brought to you by Shankopotamus.com, Callaway, of course, our buddy Mikey Getch, FootJoy, and Stan Sheffield, the #1 glove. Both guys are coming on board again in 2011. And Swing Pro, the original counterbalance weighted training aid. Log on to swingpro.com. Plenty of time, I'm sure, for JW and Bobby to get your Christmas order out. They're an Iowa-based company. A great off-season training aid. You can use it in your basement, in your office. Swingpro.com. And, of course, Rockstar Satellite, Chris Brennick and the staff. They've taken great care of the Iowa Sports Connection and myself at home. They've got DirecTV. Give them a call, 515-339-0985. They got a brand new location right over there by AE. RockstarSatellite.com. And now it's time to talk a little serious golf with Rick Brown. No Dodger conversation tonight, Gib. Come on. Just dive right in.
I'll keep it with golf.
All right. Brownie, was that okay with you?
That's fine with me. Yep. Got to whatever keeps Judd happy.
Well, I mean, I think Fort Dodge is 5-1 right now in basketball. So I mean, I won't bring that.
Not
up
that
again.
you're paying attention.
Not that I'm paying attention.
Hey, Rick, great article on, of course, all Iowans' favorite, Zach Johnson, and kind of interesting the way his career has evolved from, as you do a great job of highlighting. The numbers speak for themselves. Pretty interesting statistics that you did analysis, and a nice story.
Well, thanks. He's a typical Iowan in the sense he's he believes in hard work. Everything's the secret's in the dirt, as Ben Hogan used to say, and he tries to get a little better every year, and so far it's worked wonders for him.
Well, he goes back to that every year and says, all I try to do is just get a little bit better. And Jay, we were talking about prior to when you came on, Rick. We thought it was kind of funny that the things that he thinks he needs to work on are his putting and pitch shots and sand game, which we all got to see close up before he got on the PGA Tour. That was always a strong point of his game. Yeah,
especially the putting. But the putting numbers did improve this year. So in that sense, he's right. But it's interesting because he would tell you, and his caddy Damon Green would tell you that chipping is a weakness in his game, that and sand play. I know Damon's been on Zach. He's been pretty relentless on telling him you gotta really, especially the chipping, you gotta really improve that. And Damon knows what he's talking about. He can play a mean game. In fact, he got to the final stage of qualifying for the Champions Tour this fall. So it sounds like everyone's in agreement that that's an area they need to concentrate on.
Well, obviously, if he improved his putting a little bit going into this season, and he vaulted up the money list a little bit more, so if he can keep going. And I know Judd and I talked with with chipping and pitching. If you want to become a really good putter, if you do chip it a little bit better, it'll help your putting stats out quite a bit.
Yeah, no doubt. You're getting it goes. As you well know, Jay, goes back to the greens and regulation. If you improve that, that's a good stat. But then you might be facing a lot of more 20 and 30 footers. But then when you get up and down, that's exactly right. That those putting statistics drop.
Well, Rick, it seems like the golf season never ends anymore. The off season is just a few weeks, and here the PGA Tour is going to start up again. An interesting 2010 to say the least. What are some of the things you look for maybe to happen in 2011 if we could get maybe a prediction or two? I mean, obviously we're going to root for Zach every tournament, but I was talking earlier to these guys. I think Dustin Johnson might possibly be the best player on the PGA Tour right now from the USA.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think he is the best player. It's hard to believe you'd say that. Everyone's going to point at Tiger and how we do, and will he win again? But I'll tell you, it doesn't take, as you guys well know, you lose just a little bit, and it's hard. He's not the dominant player he once was, and I think the fear factor has disappeared. I mean, I guarantee Dustin Johnson's not afraid to go head-to-head with him, and there's probably 10 to 15 guys on tour now who are that way, where before, if Tiger got in the hunt, everyone kind of melded a little bit. But,
Tom Watson, both those guys were, not nearly as dominant as Tiger was, but when they hit that age of 34, 35, they still had some good golf. Palmer never won another major after the age of 35.
Right. Now, Nicklaus had that. Nicklaus had quite a dry spell in there, too. Now, he got it going again and won a bunch more, but, I thought it was just a formality of Tiger passing Jack's major victories, and now I'm not so sure it's going to happen. That'll be fascinating to watch that unfold.
You're listening On the Tee here on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio Network, a conversation with the Des Moines Register's Rick Braun. If you haven't picked up today's Des Moines Register, a great story on Zach Johnson on the front cover. And just to give anybody that didn't, a little analysis of Zach's career. He's won $19 million over his career. His victories, he's got 7 of at the 2010 Crown Plazas Invitational, Colonial, the 2009 Sony Open in Hawaii, the 2009 Texas Open, the 2008 Texas Open, the 2007 Masters, as most sports fans are well aware of, the 2007 AT&T Classic, and the one where he really made his statement in Georgia, the inaugural win in 2004 at the Bell South Classic. The thing that I'm astonished at is the great year he had, despite his beloved Hawkeyes going 7-5, Brownie.
That's I'm not saying that weighs on his mind, but I think he was at the Wisconsin game too, so he saw him lose in person. He's an ardent fan, but I think when he's standing over a 10-foot putt, he's not thinking about the Hawkeyes.
With Zach being now such more of a household name out there, and he's Ryder Cup member a couple times, obviously a major winner, has won multiple times on tours. Is his schedule changing anymore when he goes and plays the PGA Tour this year? Is he just sticking with a few more of the bigger tournaments, or is he trying to keep everything about the same as he's done in the past?
Well, I think he's trying to keep everything about the same, Jay. Now, last year, gosh, I can't remember the tournament. They asked him to play. He skipped Tiger's tournament in D.C. and played in, maybe it was Hartford, because the tour asked him to. And the tour was trying to implement that policy where the elite players went to some of the places they hadn't played before to improve the fields, which in a sense they're just going on they're just hoping the players do it on their own. They haven't made it a rule this year. They decided not to make it a rule. But he might play in one or two that are different, but his routine's pretty much the same. He doesn't like to play more than 3 at the most 4 weeks in a row, and then he likes to spend 2 weeks at home. Now that he has 2 little ones at home, the lure to get home is even stronger. And he's established and said he's not like he's out trying to survive on the tour, and I can't miss this many weeks. So I think his routine's down pretty pat right now.
Well, I know it's lucky for us having a guy like that being from Iowa, being able to come back to the John Deere Classic and the things he's done to try to help make that tournament better and sending people over to the British Open. It's certainly nice to be able to have him to be able to draw some bigger names too to come back as well for that tournament.
Yeah, he is on their board of directors, and he does help try to recruit the players a little bit, and that's no secret. And he would like to see the field get better. When you consider where that is on the calendar, they do get a pretty darn good field, and the jet that Claire Peterson came up with, the jet to take the players right to the British Open from the Quad Cities that night was a brilliant idea, and it's really helped their field.
Well, Rick, we've talked Asian Tour the last few years with Jason Knutson playing the Asian Tour. Now he just qualified, got through the European Tour qualifying school. So you're going to have to educate those the young people down there at the Register taking those scores and get those European scores up on the paper next year.
That's right. Jason. He's played a lot of good golf in his career, and winning twice in Asia. And the one time he outdueled Padraig Harrington, which I don't know if a lot of people remember that. He's just had a terrific career, and what a good guy. Cyclone, as you guys are, and carries that flag proud. And I'm interested. A couple other guys, Jack Newman, who didn't make it out of the first stage of qualifying, but he was playing very good going into that. And then Jay, one of your players, Chris Baker, who got to the final stage. I mean, I'd be interested to see where he goes.
Well, hopefully, I talked to Chris down at the finals of Tour School, and he said that he's got status back in that European Challenge Tour, but he thought he might be able to get 10 to 12 starts in that European Tour next year. So hopefully there's 2 Iowa State connections out there in the European Tour playing.
Yeah, that'd be great. Those guys they're pretty close to making it. That's the thing that's it's fun to watch, but you understand the frustration for them too, to be so close to something to dream of, and they, as much as anyone can tell you how hard it is to get on tour.
Brownie, did you know that Horty got married a couple of weeks ago, and then he took his lovely bride Molly to Q School for their honeymoon. So, yeah, he was right down there with Chris Baker for his honeymoon and his lovely bride following her.
Well, as long as the Q School wasn't in Iowa and it was probably halfway decent weather-wise, I'm sure you might be able to get away with it.
Well, he certainly did. Hey, we appreciate you taking time to join us as you do quite a few times during the course of the year. Great article on Zach, and have a Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you in 2011.
Well, thanks, guys, and thanks for doing this show because it keeps the taste of golf in your mouth even when it's darn cold outside.
All right, thanks, Brownie.
Yep.
That's Rick Brown. Great writer for the Des Moines Register and Fort Dodge Dodger. Is that a big enough promo there for you and TD?
It's close enough.
All right. Hey, we're also brought to you by, speaking of cold weather, Longview Golf Center, the Dome. You've been out there quite a bit as the temperatures drop. 10,300 Northwest 54th and Grimes. Take the I-80 235 exit. You can't miss it. You'll see the white dome to Highway 141. It's just off 141. Or you can log on to longviewgolf.com for more information and the hours, or give them a call if you need directions. 515-986-9799. We're on other pockets of the state. Is there a dome down in the Quad Cities?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I'm going to get the name of that dome so we give plenty of love to those guys
You can
as
just
well.
say the dome. My guess is it's something dome.
The dome down there in the Quad Cities. Get over there and hit balls. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Boy, that was a great promo. We'll be back, and we're going to do our Christmas vacation trivia. And this is a tough one. I thought last week was
So
a
that
lay
means
down.
this will be a lay down this week.
Possibly. People are logging on. They're Googling right now, though. I want people in their cars. We'll be back on the tee on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio Network.